Okay, so my name's Je-Ree with SpoilerTV. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for
So
having me.
no problem. So I'm a huge comic book fan and huge Superman fan. He's like been part of my childhood. So my first question for you is have are you how big are you on comics, and has Superman been a part of your childhood? And
Yeah, I am. I was really big into comics as a
Mhm.
kid. I grew up watching, or not watching. I grew up reading like a lot of like the Matt Groening like comic strips. Welcome to Hell. It's an old school comic strip. It was about like a bunny, and
Yeah.
he was like going on like these crazy antics.
Yeah.
I used to rent them out at the library. Spawn was a huge. I was a huge
Okay.
Spawn fan.
Yeah.
Um, I was a huge X-Men fan. I collected like all the X-Men trading cards, and
Yes.
grew up watching X-Men. And then from there, I got into like a lot of DC from watching
Mhm.
Justice League and
Right.
Justice League Unlimited. So yeah, I was like a huge comic book fan growing up. I think
Yeah.
any like kid was back in the day. And as well, watching the Superman cartoons as well on
Right.
the kids WB when that came out. So yeah, huge
Yeah. And
fan.
look at you, you're Jimmy now. That's so like full circle
I
moment for me.
know, I know. Everything's like
Yeah.
full circle now. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, traditionally, we see Jimmy, he's usually a white character, but on the
Yeah,
CW and Supergirl, McCat Brooks played him, and so we see
yeah,
like a
yeah,
little bit
yeah,
of a shift. So
yeah.
what does that mean for you with them bringing you on to play him?
Yeah, no, it's definitely awesome to see Jimmy Brooks as a person of color, as a black male. It really, when I got the audition, like it didn't say what race he was. I mean, I assumed he was white, but
Yeah.
whenever I get something and it doesn't specifically say the race, or when they're just like we're seeing all people or everybody, I just typically put my spin on it. I went into it thinking, okay, what would Ishmael do? What would I do in this
Mhm.
character's shoes? And it kind of just like obviously it resonated, and I booked the role, and I just wanted to give him like some youth, and make him fun, make him
Yeah,
witty, and also give him like a lot of heart as well too. So
that's awesome. So,
yeah.
you said when you got the audition though, but like, what drew you? Like, how did that come about? Were you like, I don't know how that worked. Like, were you seeking it, or they came to you, or like?
No, I was not seeking. I
Yeah.
got the audition. I think we were still in quarantine. I
Okay.
believe. So like a lot of things were slow. So
Mhm.
this came out of left field. Yeah, and I read it, and to be honest, this is like my first voiceover role
Okay.
ever. So like I got it, and it said Jimmy was a little bit younger. Obviously, I'm a little bit older, and obviously, as you hear me right now, I have a very deep voice.
That was my
So I
next
just,
question.
yeah, I played around with my voice, and I played around with the character. So I really had to like pitch my voice higher and talk
Yeah.
a lot faster to kind of like get the essence of Jimmy. But once like we started to like record our voices for the characters, I played around a little bit with the lines and things like that, and I kind of like found my pocket of who Jimmy was. So
That's awesome. Yeah, that was my next question. How do you find his voice? Because when I first heard it, when I first watched the first season, I was like, "Who's that?"
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
yeah, and you
yeah,
have such a different voice. That's cool.
yeah. It's interesting. Even like I'm trying to remember, like I'm even now I'm trying to remember how I did it. Yeah, because every time whenever we would record, I would tell like the engineer or the producers, I'd be like, "Yo, can you play that back? Because I just want to
Mhm.
hear how I sounded, so I can like get into
Yeah, that
that
mind.
pocket again." Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So it's interesting. I mean, it's all about acting. You kind of
yeah,
just like figure things out, and you just play around, and
yeah,
whatever sticks to the wall or resonates, you kind of go with it. So.
yeah. That's dope. So this season started. We're getting to see some more iconic characters. We have Silas Stone,
Mhm.
that's Cyborg's dad. We have John
Yeah.
Irons, Steel. So who's been your favorite to appear so far that the audience has seen?
Oh, that's a good question. I really like Slade's character. I
Oh,
think
really?
that's a
Okay.
very yeah, that's a very interesting take on how he did his character. Um Steele's
Mhm.
also a really dope character that I like. Um I want to say another character, but I don't know if it aired yet. So,
Okay, so don't say it. No
uh,
spoilers.
yeah, no spoilers. But yeah, I really like how they did Slade.
Mhm.
I really like that character a lot. So
Okay, so and also this season, Jimmy's been getting some money. He's had some money,
yeah.
but I noticed the money keeps trickling down. He doesn't have a
Well,
financial
you know what?
advisor.
You know what, Jimmy, he's a black man. He just came into his first millions. He didn't
Right.
really have no guidance on how to use his money. So, he gonna spend it. Jimmy gonna spend it. So but luckily for Jimmy, he spends it, on his friends, and
Mhm.
he just wants to have a good time. He just wants to share the wealth. And you can't knock him for doing that. But
No, but every
yeah,
time it
he
trickles down, I'm like, calm down, calm down.
yeah,
Bruce Wayne is
no,
coming.
no,
Let
no, we
Bruce
can't,
Wayne
we
get
can't
away.
calm down. We can't calm down. We gotta live it up. We gotta live it up. Jimmy, he got Superman on his side. If the money goes down, they can, maybe sell some
Robert Banks.
Superman picks. Robert Bank? No, we ain't robbing no banks.
I know.
We ain't robbing
No,
no banks. Maybe
I
maybe
say
go to
just wait
Vegas.
for Bruce. Wait
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Bruce to
yeah.
come.
Yeah, wait for Bruce to come, or they go to Vegas, and Superman can use his X-ray vision to look at cars, and
Yeah.
they can win some stuff. No, I'm just joking around. But no, yeah, it's funny to see like like he has like this big pot, and like he like makes a purchase and it just goes down. I think that
Yeah.
just adds to like the comedy
The comedy.
of
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
of Jimmy. So yeah.
So how would you describe his arc this season?
Oh, I would describe his arc as someone who definitely finds his footing. I think in season one, Jimmy was the third wheel in a
Mhm.
lot of the episodes. And this time around, he's definitely going to find his soulmate, if you will.
Ooh.
But definitely Jimmy he's speaking up a lot more.
Mhm.
He's putting his foot down on a lot of things, and even though Jimmy is um the comic relief, he is definitely in situations where he has to lead. He has to show his leadership, and he does it in a very Jimmy way, and he's getting more and more respect from his peers, and just from everybody he kind of encounters. So it's gonna be dope to watch, kind of see to watch Jimmy kind of like take the reins and kind of like lead in a lot of things on this season of Superman. So
Yeah, because he has his own little team. I mean, they're younger, they're little kids, but he has a
yeah,
playful team. I think that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. His little crew,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
his
just love
posse.
Jimmy. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
so
he's
deep,
dope.
so genuine, and like,
And that's the thing about him. He's a very genuine person.
mm,
He gives a lot and he feels a lot. And he only wants it to be reciprocated, and he looks out for people.
he does.
He looks out for people. So he's a really dope character. He's a very good addition to just like Lois and Clark and Superman, and
Mhm.
all the whole world around this show. So
Yeah. I mean, I caught that tea about him finding his soulmate, and I'm like, who's coming up? Kara's coming up.
listen. I didn't say all that. I didn't say
I
all
know
that.
you did, but I'm
You
trying to connect the
you
dots.
you inferred that.
I did.
It could have been anybody. It could have been Wonder Woman. You
Ooh,
know, it could have been anybody.
could be
So
Amanda Waller.
yeah, it could be a Man of Waller. You
Yeah,
never Jimmy might have a thing for the older women.
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So, how do you guys record? Are you all in one room, or you guys record separately?
No, no. We recorded separately, which
Okay.
was interesting because, like I said, this was my first voiceover job,
Mhm.
and like I said, we did it like we recorded post quarantine pandemic, so there were still like the little quarantine rules. So we recorded by ourselves, but the producers and writers were all on Zoom. I was in a room, and I was in a booth, and the sound engineer was, in another room with the glass so he can see
Yeah.
me. And yeah, the producers and writers, they'd be on Zoom and they'd give me notes or they would direct me on how to say certain things, or just they'll just be there to kind of guide me in how this episode was, how the episodes would be, because we wouldn't like I didn't have any reference of like what the character looked like, or
Hmm.
just any pictures at all. So it was strictly off imagination, which was it was interesting because it's like when you watch it, you think that we're all in the same room together, but
Yeah.
that just goes to like the skill of like the editors and just us as actors.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, everybody was in a everybody recorded on different days. We weren't in separate rooms. Like, so
Mhm.
I would record, let's say on a Monday, and then everybody else would record on whatever days that
Yeah.
they came in. And it was just recently like that we all met each other in real life. Like
Oh wow.
yeah, when we recorded, we never met each other, and
Mhm.
I met everybody at the premiere of like the first two
Mhm.
episodes. Yeah, it was like we knew each other, for forever. So it's still, yeah.
That is super dope. So we've
Hmm.
had so many variations of these characters. Why do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
your show is just like different and so fresh? What do you think it is?
I mean, it has heart. We're not just, as cheesy as that sounds, like we're not just focusing on Superman the hero. We're focusing on these three friends who are going through real life stuff. They're going through
Hmm.
relationships. They're going through identity. Superman's trying to he's embracing, and he's trying to figure out how he can, be Superman, as well as juggle being Clark, as well as juggling, his relationship
Hmm.
with Lois. You have Jimmy, who is just juggling friendships and juggling trying to keep a flame bird afloat. We're not to keep it afloat, but like doing that with his other job at the Daily Bugle.
Daily
But
Planet.
yeah, I'm sorry, Daily Planet.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Edit that out. Edit that out. Cut
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah.
Cut that out. I
They're
don't
gonna
want
be
to
like,
get in
what
trouble.
did you say?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Cut that out. Cut that out. But no, the show just has a lot of heart. Like I
Mhm.
said, it focuses on real relationships. Like when you watch it, it feels like a superhero rom com on some
Mhm.
levels. You know what I mean? So we're focusing on their relationships as friends, and they just so happen to go on, heroic adventures. So
Right.
I think that's what draws a lot of people to the show, because there's a lot of like awe moments. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a very cute show. It's a very
It
cute
is.
show, and I don't know. I just feel like that's such a really dope take, because it's like we've seen every rendition of like Superman and like superheroes, and
Mhm.
things being blown up, and like super heroes and villains fighting each other, but
Right.
you don't really see like the heart. You don't really see that aspect of it. So yeah, I think that's why people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you want the fans to take away? The message to be about, friendship, leading with your heart and all that, or what do you think that message is that your show is giving?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And also it's like our show has a very like anime style to it. So I think that's what makes it very different as well too, just
Yeah.
stylistically, and it lends a lot to the show. Like we reference a lot of like anime things in the show,
You
whether
do.
it's like the art or like the title of the episodes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just want fans to take away that, it's just I don't I don't want them to compare it to any other like Superman cartoon or TV show. Like just take it for what it is, and just dive in it, and just look at it as just a fresh a breath of fresh air on on Superman. So
So yeah. Have you had any fan? Have you, talked to any fans yet, or got any fan mail or anything like that? Have you seen reactions or?
yeah, no, I it's funny because it's like a lot of stuff that I do, I don't watch.
Mhm.
I think that's just me as an artist. But I have watched a lot of like reaction videos on
Mhm.
YouTube, and if anybody's going to keep it real, it's the people on YouTube, and it's the people in them comments.
Yes.
The folks in them comments, they keep it real. They let you know, and sometimes you just like, well, dang, like if you know what's going on, then you do it. If you know what's going
Right.
on, you do it.
Okay.
But no, I've watched a lot of like reaction videos, and like just the reception has been like super dope. Like people like the show, and like we're getting people are commenting like, "Oh my god, this is such a cute show. I love this show. I love where the story's going. I love the relationship between Lois and Clark. Jimmy is hilarious."
Yes, he
Obviously you have some people who are just like, "Oh, why they make Jimmy black? Because we in 2024."
yeah,
Okay, he can be black.
he can.
So yeah, he can't be black. You get comments like that, which
Yeah.
I get it. Like people don't like, like something that has been such a staple, in comic book culture. People don't like things being tampered with or messed around with. But everything is with intent. We're not just doing things just to do it. So yeah, the reaction videos have been like super dope to watch. People like actually like watch it in real time and then
Hmm.
discuss it, and then you read the comments. And yeah, I've met fans through like different panels and events that we've
Hmm.
gone to, and just the reception has been great. And
Yeah.
also on like Instagram, people draw a lot of fan art,
Hmm.
and that's a really good sign that people like your show if they take the time to like draw fan art.
Yes.
So that's been dope. And people have been hitting me up on my DMs telling me like they love the show and things like that. So it's been a blessing. And like I said, for this being like my first like animated show, like I I did not expect it. I did not expect it to be like this well received by
Hmm.
people and liked. I'm not even saying well received, but like liked. People genuinely like this show, and even if I wasn't on it, and I know this is gonna sound cheesy, like this is a show that I would watch because I grew up watching cartoons, and
Same.
it's just a fun, cool show. So
Yeah. Yep. And you're part of
yeah,
DC family now, so maybe we'll get a
I
live action
am.
Jimmy, or you
Listen,
never
listen,
know.
listen, James Gunn. If you listening to this podcast, I know you listen to this podcast.
Right.
If you, yeah, I know y'all making the next
Hmm.
Superman movie, and that's fine. I'm not as buff to be Superman. That's cool, but I already have experience playing Jimmy Olsen, right?
Come
And I
on.
just feel like, yeah, yeah, I feel like it would behoove you to cast me in the role of Jimmy Olsen in the Superman movie. I'm just letting you
Yes.
know that. So, just let the executives know and tell them Ishmel Sahid is putting in his bid to play the live action version of Jimmy Olsen. So,
Yes. Catch that T,
yeah,
James. We
I
want
know.
that announcement
I
ASAP.
know. Yeah. Mr.
Um,
Mr. Gunn.
Mr. Gunn. My last question for you. So, Superman, Lois, and Clark, they're iconic and everything like that.
Yeah.
But if you could be a superhero, have a superhero power other than Superman, what would it be?
Yeah. Ooh, if I could be any superhero, are we talking about an existing superhero or just me
If
making
your
up like
own,
powers?
yeah,
Ooh, how many powers can I have?
as many as you want.
Ooh, I okay. So I would want to teleport because I'm not trying to pay these uh flight rates. So
Okay.
I'm definitely trying to teleport.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll teleport to Paris for free on the low, and then teleport back. You
Right.
know, I'm not trying to have missing bags. Flying for sure.
Hmm.
I would definitely want to like go invisible at will. The power to read minds, telekinesis.
Hmm.
The power to like slow things down.
Hmm.
Kind of like how yeah, like slow things down. I definitely would want immunity. I don't want to get sick. You know.
Right. Especially after COVID,
uh
please.
yeah. I definitely want to fight. I don't gotta be buff, but like, I just want like skills to like fight and stuff
Right.
like that. Um, what else? Super strong.
Hmm.
We can't forget that.
You are
Uh
invincible.
yeah. I want to shoot some type of projectiles, either from like my hands or my eyes.
Hmm.
Um, I want to be able to like say things, like the power to like make people do things. So if I'm like,
Okay.
yo, yeah, I don't know what that's called, but if I'm like, hey, go get me a smoothie, and they'll be like, yes, Ishmael,
Yeah.
I can get you a smoothie. Uh, so like anything like godlike,
Yeah.
I would like. So yeah,
That's pretty dope.
the
All I would want is Storm's powers. Like ever since I was little, just want to control the weather.
yes, yeah, Storm is dope. I always liked man, there's a lot of superheroes that I enjoyed. Like I always liked the Flash. I always wanted to run fast. But yeah,
Look,
I
look.
just want. Yeah.
I love the
Uh,
Flash. We're here.
yeah. No, the Flash is dope.
Yeah.
He might be in this episode. He might be in a future episode. He might be.
Ooh,
He might
Barry
be.
Allen. Y'all did go to Star Labs. So I was
And
like, wait a minute.
he
Where's
might be.
Barry? Yeah.
He's not in these episodes. I'm just messing around.
Ah,
Don't get me in
okay,
trouble.
it's
Cut that
true.
out. We can edit that out. We can edit that
Yeah,
out.
he's lying.
Yeah.
I thank you so much. This was so much fun. Thank you for real for coming on and speaking with me.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, thank you for having me. I'm always happy to kind of just like do things like that and just let people in on
Mhm.
this little gem that we have, and hopefully a lot of people will watch, and hopefully people will get to know me other than character, and just as Ishmael, the
Yes,
person that brings the joy to Jimmy. So
yes, they will. Thank you again so much. Been a pleasure.
yeah, likewise, likewise.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
Take it easy. Bye bye.